If you can't hear me, I'm sorry, but I'm in nature doing something different, and I am excited about being out here and doing this. Like, remember the time I mentioned before where like if people would walk by, like I would stop recording just because I would be like kind of nervous and kind of like I kind of am right now. Like anxiety's really getting in, but it's all good because I am still gonna give y'all a video. But I kind of want to do it different, and I kind of wanted to do devotion and kind of like incorporate my self-care, mental health routine into there. Well, some of it, partial of it, not all of it, because mental health is very important to me overall, and just taking care of your mind and your body. And then on top of that, I wanna start doing more things that's beneficial for me when it comes to that, because I lost my brother over a month ago, and it still doesn't seem real to me, and it can be hard at times, but it's all about how you handle the situation, and no matter what, life's not going to stop, so you got to keep on pushing. On my way here, I did have a moment, and I was going to record it, but I was like, you know what, I feel like this is a moment that I really need to sit with my own thoughts and feelings, so that's what I did. But today is different. I am so excited to be out here and for you guys to be with me, even though you're not physically with me. You guys get to see content, But I am going to do devotion like I normally do, and then I am going to lead that with my just feel good nature, outdoorsy stretching yoga routine. I don't know, something, but you guys get to go follow along with me with that, so I'm pretty excited for that. And like I was saying earlier, like I don't know why, but I get like anxiety being outdoors and filming, because people really stare at you like they've never seen someone outside with a camera before. I don't know, I guess it's because there's people out in the real world that do not do social media, that do not do like videography, that do not use their phone unless need be. So I guess that's why some people are just like, I don't know, I guess it's just strange for people. I don't freaking know. But I am gonna start devotion off with today's date. Today is the 18th, and yeah, we're gonna get into devotion. I'm not gonna play around today. We're gonna get right into it. None of the riff-raff. We're not doing that. So today is September 18th. I don't know if it's going to show you guys, but today is September the 18th, and it says, seek to please me above all else. Let that goal be your focal point as you go through this day. Such a mindset will protect you from scattering your energy to the wind. The free will I bestowed on you comes with awesome responsibility. Each day presents you with choice after choice. Many of these decisions you ignore and thus make by default. Without a focal point to guide you, you can easily lose your way. That's why it's so important to stay in communication with me, living in thankful awareness of my presence. You inhabit a falling, disjointed world where things are constantly unraveling around the edges. Only a vibrant relationship with me can keep you from becoming unraveled too. And that devotion comes from Matthew 6:33, John 8:29, and then Colossians 3, verse 23 through 24. Whoa. Tell me why, like I said, if you don't know, you're new to the channel, first I'll make sure that you subscribe. But if you're new to the channel, I lost my brother over a month ago. He was 23. We were 2 years apart, and that was my road off. I feel like a part of me is missing, because we would bump heads, we would argue, what siblings do, and the fact that he's gone and I don't have that anymore, it's like I feel like I took it for granted. I feel like God took him away from me because I didn't appreciate it. And even though I know I appreciated it, I didn't appreciate it as much as God would have liked me to appreciate it. Y'all know these buzz, and I'll be honest, I don't play about some more buzz, but some things that stood out to me in this devotion says, it says, without a focal point to guide you, you can easily lose your way. Meaning, if you don't have anything to focus on, everything you do is going to be, it's not going to have no purpose behind it. You know, you're just going to walk around lost, basically. Without a focal point to guide you, you can easily lose your way. So God is just telling you, if you're not focusing on Him, you're not going in the right direction. And I know for a fact, a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, that I was going in the wrong direction. And that's because I was young. I mean, I still am young, but I was younger then. I didn't have a purpose. I was just freely living life, and I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life, and I honestly didn't care. Like, my mind, my focus was on other things, and I wasn't focusing on the things that really mattered. So now I am happy with myself. I'm happy with my life. There are things that I do want to do. You know, there are things that I do want to do and accomplish, and I'm going to accomplish. Majority of the things that I've wanted to do in my life, I have done. And there's so much more that I want to do, but it's something that I want to enjoy along the journey, not something that I'm rushing to do and get done, you know, even though we're not promised tomorrow, but it's not something that I'm like, oh, I need to get this done now. If I don't get this done, then all hell's gonna break loose, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like that, but I'm very happy with my life and myself. So to sum this devotion up, basically focus on God. Without focusing on Him, you're not going to be where you need to be. If you feel lost, you feel stuck, get closer to God. And I tell people that because I'm like, the way things were maybe about a couple of months ago, a year ago, I was lost. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, definitely get closer to God. Because things, like, telling you, the world's going to crash down on you, and you're going to feel like nothing's working out in your favor. Everything's just it's just not working out for you, right? So get closer to God, y'all. Get closer to God. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, I do a devotion every week, but ever since my brother passed, I've really been falling off, and it's only because I've been taking more time to myself, you know, sitting with my thoughts and my feelings, and just becoming more in tune with life and my family, and just spending more time with my loved ones, like, honestly. So that's where I'm at with it. But I am going to finish reading the devotion, and I am going to share this word with y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Okay, so in today's devotion in this book, it is learning to trust. And I picked this one because I don't know if you have watched the last video. If you haven't, I'll link it down below. And basically I talked about how in this time I feel like I'm pulling away from God. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the enemy. It's the devil, because he knows that I'm going through what I'm going through. And God is my Lord and Shepherd. And the devil knows that. And he knows I'm vulnerable right now. So this is like the best time for him to come in and destroy me, basically. So right now, like I said, I'm very vulnerable, but not vulnerable to the point to where I don't know what's going on and I don't know what to do and I don't know what I need to do for myself, and it means I'll just do anything. No, not that type of vulnerable. Vulnerable meaning I'm hurt inside. I'm sad, and I have a lot of different emotions going on. So the devil knows that. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to pull me away from God, because he knows this is one of the times right now that I really truly need him, right? And I feel like he's trying to pull me away from him, because the more he pulls me away, the easier it'll be for him to attack me, like in times like this. So basically, long story short, no matter what's going on and what you're doing, always get in your Bible, always pray, always send God some kind of prayer, always thank him. Be on top of your game when it comes to him, because I'm telling y'all, without him, life is hard. And people say life isn't hard, life is what you make it, yeah. But if you don't have God, like, life is even harder. And it's crazy. It's so crazy, because years ago, I knew who God was. I pray here and there, and I go to church here and there. But you can be closer to God and not go to church. You can pray to God all the time, not go to church, and have a closer relationship with him than you did when you went to church, because it's not all about church. People think it's all about church. Getting closer with God and having a relationship with God is not just about going to church. I have church in my bedroom. I have church in the living room. I have church in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have church everywhere you go, not just at church. And that's where people get it twisted. And I'm like, I'm just feeling it, like, lately. People walking by are waving at me, but I just feel it lately that he's attacking me more right now. I feel him attacking me more and more and more. Like, one day I was sitting there and I was like, something is not right. I was like, I feel like he's like just trying to like pull me down, like basically like throwing a weight at me and trying to like pull me down and like keep me in like some kind of hole or something, or stuck or whatever. I don't know, but I just felt like I don't know, y'all. But it's crazy. It's crazy, like, how the devil works. And that's another thing, too. When he knows he has a hold of you, he will do everything and anything. Literally, he'll do anything and everything to bring you down. He wants you with him, because he knows God is going to pull you out of that tunnel. He knows God is going to take care of you the way you need to be taken care of. And that's the thing with the devil. The devil don't want that. So he's going to do everything in his power. And when you go throughout the day, make sure that you say things. Make sure that you listen to things. Make sure whenever you feel like you're going through something, talk to God, and make sure that you're acknowledging the situation and what's going on. So listen, pay attention to what's going on in your life. Don't just be like, oh my God, it's happening again. Oh my God, I'm going through this again.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Pay attention to the cycle that's really going on in your life. Because, let me put you on game. So, when something is repeatedly going on in your life, more than likely, God is trying to catch your attention. He's trying to wake you up. And he's trying to to show you without, this is why I say read in between the lines. When you're not doing what God wants you to do, He will keep sending those tests back and back and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to you until you wake up and you see what's going on. And then once you figure out what it is that's going on in your life and you fix it, you won't see it happen no more. And that's the crazy thing. I'm like, whoa. Because something happened in my life. It was something small, but it was something I know I needed to fix, but I wasn't fixing it. And I started working on it and fix it, right? I don't see it no more. I don't see it happen. So another thing, like whenever you do get to that point, you figure out what it is that's repeatedly happening in your life. I'm telling y'all gonna thank me later. But all I'm saying, if there's something going on in your life right now and you want it to go away and it's not, God is sending that to you. He's having those things come back to you so you can learn from them so they won't come there anymore, right? Basically is what happens. So you just basically gotta just pay attention and listen to what's going on. So devotion is learning to trust, and it says, He said to His disciples, why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? And it comes from Mark 4:40. And it says, our dog Winston has the biggest scaredy cat in the canine world. We credit his timidity to his time in the big house. The runt of the litter, 7-week-old Winston, has malnourished and mangy when someone dropped him off at the animal shelter. Thankfully, the animal control officer was married to Grace, the president of the Animal Rescue League. He told her about the tiny freckled-faced puppy, and she saw potential in him. Eyeing his patchy fur and protruding ribs, she announced, I can cure his mane and fatten him up. He'll make someone a great pet. Until his mange cured, Grace kept Winston isolated. By the time we adopted him, he spent a large portion of his life alone. We weren't surprised to discover he had trust issues. Imagine what it would be like to go from an isolated crate in the corner of a room to a big wide world bustling with sights, sounds, and smells. Falling leaves sent him running from cover. Sudden noises caused him to hide under the nearest piece of furniture. One day we were playing in an open field when a plastic grocery bag blew his way. He bolted like Sasquatch was chasing him. Winston reminds me of myself in the early days of my faith. God didn't rescue me from the big house, but He did rescue me from a dark and hopeless future. He cured my sins, sickness, and promised to take care of me all the days of my life. But I had trust issues. At the first rustle of change or clatter of trouble, I ran for cover. Like the disciples in the storm on the Sea of Galilee, I cried out, Teacher, don't you care about me? I was convinced God was sleeping and I was going to drown. I had to extend lots of love and patience to persuade Winston to trust me. Right there, it said I had to extend lots of love and patience to persuade Winston to trust me. So basically, she had to go out of her way for the dog to trust her because he was already terrified. He was already scared. So she had to do everything in her power to earn his trust, basically. When scary things frightened him, I called his name, dropped to my knees, and opened my arms wide. Come, Winston, I said, come to me, I'll protect you. Before long, he learned to run to me instead of away from me. One day, I walked him on a busy street to condition him not to fear traffic noises. In the distance, a fire truck roared our way. Seeing the threat, I dropped to my knees, wrapped my arms around him, and covered him with my body until the truck howled past. Don't be afraid, I whispered into his trembling ear. I've got you. God did the same for me. As I prayed and He answered, I learned to run to Him whenever anything frightening entered my world. When I brought financial needs, sickness, and relationship troubles to Him in prayer, I saw Him respond. And then you'll know He responds by the actions that's going on in your life, basically. So, like I said earlier, pay attention. And it's crazy that this actually aligns with what I was saying earlier. Actually aligns with this devotion. So basically, pay attention to the signs. When the leaves of uncertainty rustled, I shared my fears with him. When unemployment, a wayward child, or a troubling situation roared into my life, I sought protection in His mighty arms and found comfort and help. As He answered my prayers and responded to my needs, my trust grew. Don't be afraid, God whispered to my trembling heart, I've got you. Sometimes I wish I didn't have to pray about everything. Wouldn't it be wonderful if God met my needs, kept me free from sickness, pain, and sorrow, and intercepted every problem before it touched my life. But that's the thing, if we didn't have troubles in life, and we didn't have problems and issues in life, we wouldn't need God, we wouldn't call him God. If he did, though, I'd never learn to trust him. Exactly what I just said. My faith would be as malnourished as Winston when Grace rescued him. I take every good gift for granted and never recognize that it came from the generous hand of my Heavenly Father. In heaven, nothing will make me afraid, and my faith will become sight. Until then, my fear drives me to pray, and God's answers grows my faith. As Winston learned to trust me, our relationship grew sweeter. No longer plagued by fear and distrust, we could freely enjoy the life we shared. As I'm learning to trust God, our relationship has grown sweeter too. I've learned he's not asleep on the job. He's aware of all my needs and is fully able to meet them. This knowledge frees me to face life with confidence. Jesus asked his disciples 2 questions in the middle of the storm. He asked us the same: why are you so afraid? And do you still have no faith? Because faith pleases God, I'm learning to embrace every need that sends me running to his arms. No matter what threatens, I find them always open. And then the uncommon power says, God calls me to pray so I can learn to trust him. What did I just say earlier? I said, anything that you do in life, like anything that you do, anything that's happening is for a reason. Like if something bad happens, God is trying to get you to call on him. If nothing ever happened in life, we wouldn't need God. So uncommon power says, God calls me to pray so I can learn to trust him. So the more that you call him, the more that you're able to call on God and you need him, you're going to trust him, because you're going to know that whatever's working is going to be working. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so praise prompt says, Father, thank you for patiently teaching me to love and trust you. I praise you for being trustworthy, faithful, and good. Grow my faith, Lord. When trials and trouble enter my life, help me run to you first. In the strong name of Jesus, I ask, amen. And then it says, ways like you can practice things like this. It says, list all the ways God has provided for you in the last week, in the last month, in the last year. List everything from the air in your lungs to the clothes on your back to the roof over your head. Think also of the non-material gifts. Has God been faithful? Remember this the next time you feel afraid. Run to him and grow in faith and trust. So, everything that I said in the beginning, before I even read this, basically is everything that I said. So, like I was saying earlier, and I'm going to keep saying it again and again and again and again. You're going through something in life and it keeps on happening. It is because you need to call on to God. You need to get closer with God. I promise you. I promise you that's what it is. Because, like I said, I remember when I was going through stuff and it kept happening. And I'm like, why does this keep happening to me? Like, this is crazy. Like, I've been doing the same thing. I've been trying to grow. I've been doing the same thing. And it just keeps happening. And it keeps happening. And it keeps happening. And it's all because he just wanted me to see what it was in my life that I need to change. So now I'm glad that I'm actually seeing these things. I'm waking up. I'm seeing what's going on in the real world. Because there's so much going on, but you have to wake up and you have to pay attention, because if you don't, you'll be lost. There's so much going on in the world that, like, months and years ago I didn't even know, but now I'm like, whoa. Like, I'm happy where I'm at in life. I'm happy with what I do. I'm not trying to fit in with nobody, and that's why I'm happy with myself now more than ever, because I'm not trying to fit in. I'm not trying to be like everyone else. Now, don't get me wrong, when it comes to these little trends that be going on social media, like the decor and like the bedding and like, you know, different stuff like that, like, it does kind of, yeah, it catches my eye, it draws my attention, like, it really does. But when I say fitting in, I mean like dressing like everybody else, being like everybody else, trying to always keep up with the trends, and just all that type of stuff is what I'm referring to. But it's okay to, like, if so you see something somebody like or have and you want it, okay, that's fine. But like being like somebody, y'all know what I'm speaking on, right? But I ain't even about to go into detail, because the ones that know. Like, the ones that know. The ones that have been with me for a while now, y'all really know what's going on. But everything I said in the beginning of this video is exactly what was in that devotion. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I flipped to the front of the book. No kidding. I flipped to the front of the book and that one popped up. And it aligned exactly with how I'm feeling. Trusting in God right now. Trusting in Him. And I feel like like I said, I feel like the devil's trying to pull at me and tug at me because he knows. He knows how I feel and what I'm going through. So this is a very vulnerable moment for me. So he's trying to keep me there in darkness, but I'm not staying there. And I'm not going to be there. It's just, this is just a moment I'm having, and it's okay. It's okay. It's life. It's part of life, you know. That's why it's good to love on your people while they're here. Love on the people that you have while they're here. So, you know, and don't let things get in the way of that. Like, just, you know, it could be arguments, it could be petty stuff, it could be anything. Just don't let it get in the way, because if that day comes, like, you're gonna have regret and you're gonna wish that you did things differently. So, y'all, I'm telling y'all, like, this is one of the hardest things in my life. It ain't one of the hardest, it is the hardest things that I have went through and encountered in my life since I've been alive. Wow. Whoa. And I know my brother would want me to keep on trucking, smiling. He'd want me to be doing everything he knows that I want to do in life. And yeah. But hey. The devotion was good today, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any video that I post. I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video. I love all of y'all.
Everybody switching sides, but I won't switch my guys. When I started winning, that's when they got teary-eyed. How you got both parents inside your life, but stay